this mic is working. Thank you very much, Doctor. I really appreciate the opportunity. I've asked to get mic'd up here because I tend to move around a little bit, and I was told that I'm supposed to be somewhere around 15 to 20 minutes, so I need to tell Sean and BJ next time. They need to talk to my girlfriend sometime. They should tell me 5 minutes if they want to go 15 to 20. Sometimes they get a little long-winded, but we'll keep it down. And I'll tell you, it is such an honor and a pleasure to be here and be a speaker at the inaugural Canyon County Sports Stars event. We've already had a round of applause several times for these athletes, but what a great honor this is for you to be here. You've all done incredible things, and you've already inspired us. And it was interesting because just this morning, I'm on the telephone with a high school coach from a recruit that we're recruiting from a junior college. And it was the first time I talked to him, and he's down, this kid went to high school in Las Vegas, and I'm telling him, well, hey, I can't tell you, you could hear the passion in my voice. Canyon County, Caldwell has been incredible. We led the country in attendance this year. We're doing really well. Have you ever been to Boise and Treasure Valley area before? Have you ever been to, Nampa, Caldwell, this and that? And finally he stops me, Coach, hold on 1 second, take a breath. I'm from Nampa. I went to Nampa High School. I said, you gotta be kidding me. You went to Nampa High School. So I said, I guess I don't have to sell you anymore. He says, yeah, there were only about 25,000 people there when I left. And I said, yeah, there's a few more now. And he knows. But he which is great, because he's sitting there telling a young man what a great area this is to live in, what a great place this is to be an athlete and just to be a student athlete. And this is really a really special place. And so what I've done tonight, I'll go back and forth from the podium a little bit because I'm trying to keep myself a little bit on point so I don't go too long for you guys. But I had a few things I really wanted to touch on, and I wanted to start, everybody in here is really inspired people, and everybody in here as an athlete, you've overcome adversity. And I was thinking about this just right there when I was getting my introduction there and thinking, wow, 58 and 12 and all that stuff. And as a coach, you don't really think about the 50 and 8, you think about the 12. And you remember each and every one of those. And when I first was hired, just over 2 years ago, I was hired by a great man, my boss, Marty Hawley, who was the most successful coach in the history of the College of Idaho basketball and is a great AD. And Marty Hawley loves the Canyon County. He loves Caldwell. He loves Nampa. He loves the College of Idaho. And he had me so excited when I was here on my interview to come here. And he had told me so many great things. And I remember, fast forward 6 months to that first game. We're driving out to Dillon, Montana. First game as a head coach. I am excited. I've been preparing for this my whole life. I've been preparing for it all summer. We've had 6 weeks of practice. We're ready to go. We're driving up there. Marty promised me on the interview that, hey, this is going to be a great place. You're going to love the fan support. People are going to be into it. He showed me film of when he used to coach in the 90s and how packed the place was. He was right. Fundraising was going well. People were excited about our program. People were enthusiastic. The team was fired up. Marty promised me, he says, hey, you're from Southern California. You like Mexican food? I said, I love Mexican food. Oh, we got the best tacos across the street. He was right. Imelda's Tacos, I'm customer of the month just about every single month. I had 3 of them today again. It's unbelievable. That place is great, Everything he told me, Scott, you're going to be able to sell the College of Idaho to good students. It's a great liberal arts college, and he was right. People are coming in to look at our peak program and study it from other small colleges. It's a great school. It's a great place for growth. He was right on. Scott, we have the best, in terms of travel, we travel as well or better than any other small college in the country. You're never going to have, Marty, do I have to drive van? No van driving. You're going to have a bus. We've got great Caldwell transportation. They're going to take care of you. But right then, all of a sudden, I'm thinking about these things, and and the bus pulls over to the right, and I look over, Craig, what's going on here? And just me and our bus driver, the bus, Mr. UCLA here, the bus breaks down. Right in between Idaho Falls and Dillon, Montana, where there is nothing. So everybody in the back, all the players in the back of the bus, oh boy, here we go. This guy's, going to go nuts here. What is he going to do? He's used to being at, fancy UCLA and being on a plane everywhere you go and this and that. Well, we had 2.5 hours to sit there. And the reason I mention that is because everybody in here has had to handle adversity, and that was the first challenge I had as a head coach. Before I'd even stepped on the floor to coach one game, there was a challenge, and there was an opportunity. And so, hey, we took that time, went around the bus, got to know each other better, spent some time, did a little team building activity, went outside, tried to keep everybody away from the highway when that one car passed every once in a while, and finally, 2.5 hours later, The truck comes with some, special belt that we didn't have a spare one, fixes the belt. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm from LA. I mean, the people, I got, one of our players from Melba's in there, I mean, he can figure out, the guy from Homedale, they know everything about the engine. I'm sitting there going, I'm from the city, man. I've never fixed my car in my life. I'm totally out of place. But we get it going. We get back up there. We get a hold of the Pizza Hut. They stay open late for us because there's nothing open past about 8 o'clock in Dillon. So this thing stays open until 9:30 for us, and we get our food. We get to the hotel, sleep. Everything's going great. Next day, shoot-around's perfect. I'm ready. I've got the pregame speech that's going to beat all pregame speeches. I mean, Lou Holtz is going to be jealous of what I just did. I mean, the great coaches, Vince Lombardi is going to be up in heaven looking down. God, I wish I would have thought to say that. And, I've got it ready. And the team goes out, and they come back into the locker room after warming up, and I'm inspired. I'm going. Nobody's going to stop me. I got all the things that we're going to do on defense and reminding the guys that we practice. Everything up there we're going to do on offense. I'm ready to go. My coaches, they're waving me down in the background, let me know I think they're just letting me know when the minutes are, whatever. I'm not even paying attention. I don't even see them. It's just me and the players looking them eye to eye. And it was so exciting, and I'm up there. And finally, one of my assistant coaches interrupts me, and he's been waving in the back, and I thought he's telling me, 5 minutes left, Coach. I keep seeing this. Man, Coach, we just missed the national anthem. Oh. Guys, quick, get together. Go Yotes. Boom, we're out the door. We catch the end, land of the brave, home of the free. We're going. We get out there, shake hands real quick with the other coach, hustle over. The referees, hey, we didn't think you were going to show up, and then we get over there, they announce the starting lineups. Anyways, by the end of that road trip, we come back 0-2. I got a technical foul, which is still my only one. We gave up 100 points in the first game, 92 in the second game. My old boss, Ben Howland's, texted me saying, what the heck are you doing? Do you need to be, you have no chance to be a head coach. What are you doing out there? And we're driving back, and so that was the first time I got to face adversity as a head coach. And it reminded me about everything that you go through as an athlete, each and every one of you. And what a great example we have here tonight with our Inspirational Team Player of the Year in Boone Bartlett. I mean, let's give him a hand for everything that he's done. I just got to meet Boone tonight for the first time, but I've read everything about him and been following on television over the last 2 years and things that have been on the news. What an inspiration about having a great positive attitude and having enthusiasm and taking what life gives you and deciding to make it a positive, deciding to be inspired, deciding to handle adversity. When adversity hits is when your true character comes out. And the best athletes are the ones who are able to handle adversity, are the ones that have that solid inner core, that when things are going wrong out there on the court or on the field, that you're able to reach down and find that true character and find that what you're supposed to be doing and bring a little bit more out of yourself and bring the right positive enthusiasm out of yourself. And everybody that's here tonight has done that. You couldn't be here if you hadn't done that. And some of you haven't even faced the most adversity you're going to see yet. And that's coming for you. But you're going to be prepared and you're going to be ready to handle that. And so, as I think about tonight, there were a few words that I thought about as I was thinking, what is tonight all about? And tonight, to me, some of the words that came to mind, we talk about are greatness, achievement, inspiration, overcoming great odds, handling adversity, having a positive attitude. That's what each and every one of you represent. Whether or not you're winning or losing on the floor, whether or not you're the leading scorer on your team, whether or not, the best players are the ones that are great teammates, that are great leaders. You have a great opportunity and a responsibility as a great player, as an elite athlete. Everybody looks to you. And leadership, you can't just talk the talk, you better walk the walk. You better bring it every single day. I tell our players that all the time. If you want to be a leader on this team, you can't tell your teammate to go hard if you're not going harder than everybody else. As a coach, I have to be the one that's the most inspired every day. The day that I'm not the most energized, enthusiastic person on the practice floor is the day I better stop coaching. And as a leader of your team, each and every one of you in here knows what I'm talking about. That's why you're here. To be really good, you have to work harder than other people. The great players in the world, I watch, obviously being a basketball coach, I'm watching the NBA Finals right now. The Western Conference Finals and the Eastern Conference Finals every night. It's so much fun to see the best of the best are the ones that are working the hardest, the ones that are putting in the effort to do the best that they can for their team. Maybe on a night where the shot's not falling, maybe they have to be a great defender that night. You know, maybe you get injured. Maybe your job is to inspire your teammates to do better. And that's what you can add to that team. And that can make you great. That can make you a leader. You have to show up every day and you have to bring it to be an elite athlete. We had a player in 2007 at UCLA, 2006-07, named Darren Collison, was our starting point guard. He's a starting point guard for the Sacramento Kings right now. He actually got injured partway into the season this year. But great player. He was returning. He was a sophomore, coming off a trip to the Final Four. We played the Maui Invitational. Won the Maui Invitational, which was the top NCAA Division I college preseason tournament. We won the Maui Invitational. Darren was the MVP of the Invitational. We're running everybody into the ground. We have an undefeated preseason. We enter league. We dropped a couple games. We're 21-2, ranked number 2 in the country, and we have a non-league game that was scheduled at West Virginia on national TV on a Saturday. We're 21-2, ranked number 2. West Virginia is unranked. We're going into their place, and the day before the game, Darren gets hurt. Hurt something in his leg, his calf or something, and we weren't sure it was going to be a game-time decision as to whether or not he was going to play. Turns out he just couldn't run. You know, about 10 minutes before game time, we find out Darren's a no-go. So we had a freshman guard that had never started a game that was going to be put into the starting lineup. He was averaging about 8 minutes a game. He came out, first time in front of 14,100 screaming, crazy West Virginia people. These people are nuts. I mean, literally, people are wearing raccoon hats on their head. They're firing fake guns into the air. I mean, I thought I saw a lot of guns in Idaho when I moved here, but it's nothing like what I saw in West Virginia. It was a whole different deal. And so this gets thrown into this situation. This is a tough deal. And he goes 1 for 11 from the field, has 4 assists and 3 turnovers, played 32 minutes, played terrible, turned the ball over in every key moment, didn't play well defensively at all, and had a really rough night. It was a really tough spot to be in, and we lost 70-65. And I'll never forget that day. And the reason I'll never forget that day is you fast forward all of a sudden about 9 months later, and this young man, instead of looking at that opportunity and saying, wow, I'm just not going to make it, I'm not good enough, quit, or here's my excuse, or here's why it didn't happen for me, or, you know, if the coach would have just played me more earlier in the season, I'd have been ready for that. He followed he followed the plan to be great. He followed the plan to be successful. And that was to face failure and attack failure and not be afraid of it. If you want to have a lot of success, you're going to have a lot of failure. Everyone in this room, you're going to have more failure in your time. Things are going to go wrong, but you've got to be not unafraid of that. You've got to attack. You've got to know that you're going to see days where things don't go the right way for you. You have to embrace it, enjoy it, and say, I'm just going to do better. I can do better than that. I'm going to work that much harder. I'm going to figure out what it is that I need to do better to improve. That's what this young man did the entire offseason. The next year, the young man, his name was Russell Westbrook. The next year, he led the team in minutes and set the record with over 1,318 minutes. I think it was 1,318 minutes he played. It's the most minutes still ever played by a UCLA player in one season. That's how many minutes he played. He averaged almost 34 minutes a game. We went to the Final Four again. He was 3rd on our team in scoring. He was number 1 on our team in steals. He was 2nd on the team in assists. He guarded the best player on the other team every game. I'll never forget him just completely shutting Steph Curry down when we played Davidson in the Wooden Classic. And he ends up being the number 4 pick in the NBA draft less than a year later. Just over a year after that debacle at West Virginia. Same guy. Not even a year and a half older at that time. And so to me, that is somebody that wants to be great, that wants to attack success. And one of the great things about a guy like Russell is that he took that leadership role and he understood that he had an opportunity to inspire others. He understood that there was a responsibility. And that's the last thing I want to mention to each one of you in here, is not only to just be inspired to be great, but not just to be not unafraid of failure, but make sure that you realize that you have a great responsibility sitting here in this room. You are here. There are other people that really wish they could be here. As our first speakers mentioned, Sean and BJ. This is a select group. There are people calling saying, why wasn't I the best player? Why wasn't I named? You are. So what does that mean? Everybody's watching you. Everybody's looking to see what you do. And you have a great responsibility to make sure that you have a chance to go into the community and really, really offer something special. Really offer something special. If you truly want to be great, Russell Westbrook just got an award for the Inspirational NBA Player of the Year. It was a community award for what his foundation does for the community. The fact that he goes out there and does so much in the community for people that either are underprivileged or don't have what it takes to be able to play sports, don't have the opportunities that he had growing up. And that's a wonderful thing, and I really believe in that. I really believe in that with our team. We do a lot in the community. We do a lot with the Ghostbusters, which is the Idaho Special Olympics. We do a lot with the Hope House down in Marcy. And that reminds our players, number one, that we are very fortunate. We're all very fortunate in this room, every one of us, to be able to play ball, to be able to play whatever sport it is, whether it's to run track, play football, basketball, soccer, whatever you're receiving your awards, to be able to coach. But the other thing is, please, I ask you all to have the courage and the willingness to go out there and use this opportunity to show that you are responsible in this community. You want to be a responsible community member and give back to others, because others will listen to you. Because of this award you're receiving tonight, people will listen to you. You have an opportunity to have a great effect on somebody else. And I hope that I hope that if you got one thing out of my talk tonight, it is to try and inspire someone else. I tell our players all the time that, and we use the Pyramid of Success from Coach Wooden. John Wooden, the greatest college basketball coach in the history of college basketball, and he was voted by the Sporting News about 10 years ago as the greatest coach, period, ever. Pro, college, whatever. And he's certainly in that discussion. And I believe that he is the greatest coach ever in terms of his philosophy, and it's a philosophy that I really try to have our players live by. And there's a couple things that he talks about in that philosophy, but one of them he talks about his Pyramid of Success are the building blocks. The building blocks, and if you ever look up, please look up Coach Wooden, go to coachwooden.com and look at his Pyramid of Success. The building blocks on the bottom left and the bottom right are enthusiasm and industriousness. Industriousness meaning that nothing gets accomplished without hard work. You must work hard. The enthusiasm talks about the fact that enthusiasm spreads to other people. And I put my own twist on that, which is positive enthusiasm. If you are positive with your teammates, if you're positive with the people around you, and you bring enthusiasm to what you do every single day, not only will you be successful, but you will allow others to rise up and be more successful than they are. And that's what the great players do. And there are great players in this room, great athletes in this room. So I encourage you to go inspire others with bring your enthusiasm to someone else that maybe is down. And if it's positive enthusiasm, which is something you have control of every single day, you are going to bring those people down, you're going to bring them up. You're going to bring them up, and you never know who you're going to inspire. You may be talking to a little 7 or 8-year-old that's never been on the soccer field before, or never run track before, or never had an opportunity to play football before, and you may inspire them so much that all of a sudden you're their hero. And then you may be coming here 10 years from now to honor them and clap for them when they get their award as a sports star in Canyon County. And that's what I think that you have a great opportunity to do with this award tonight. And so, again, I congratulate each and every one of you. I will tell you this, our only rules in our program, we go by 2 sets of 3s. And I hope that all of you will always follow this in your own way. Our 2 sets of 3s are never lie, never cheat, never steal. Don't whine, don't complain, and don't make excuses. Those are our rules for our program. And I'll tell you what, everybody in this room, and Boone is the shining example of this, but none of you have ever whined, complained, or made excuses for why you couldn't get it done on the field, and that's why you're sitting here right now. And each and every one of you really deserves another great round of applause. Congratulations on your award. I wish you the very best. I look forward to shaking each one of your hands as you come up here and receive it and hearing all the great stories about your accomplishments. And I thank you for letting me be your speaker here for the inaugural year and on your night. And I hope this is one of the first of many, many special nights for you as your careers move on wherever they may go. Thank you very much for having me.